ang madalas kong binabahagi sa kanila is to prioritize rest like you would your work. Kumbaga, kailangan isa-schedule din natin na may rest tayo talaga. Kagaya na nabanggitin nyo, no? Nakakalungkot kasi maraming pastors, they feel bad for doing nothing or for resting, no? And siguro magandang dahan-dahan natin baguhin ito upang longevity, no? Para mas maging matagal tayo sa ministry at maging kapakinabangan tayo para sa ministry.
Welcome to Against the Flow, the podcast with Jordan.
Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to another brand new exciting edition of Against the Flow. This is ATF, the podcast with me, Jordan. And today on the program, we got a very special guest, a good friend of mine. He is a marriage and family counselor, a husband, a father, a pastor. Ladies and gentlemen, Guillermo. Palakpakan naman natin. Yay!
Good day, everyone. Good day, Pastor Jordan. Thanks
How are
for
you?
having me here.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited that you're here because so much to talk about. Kamusta ka naman?
Yeah, okay naman. So far, so good. But by the grace of God, functioning very well. I'm hoping and glorifying God sa service ng ministry.
Well, I just wanted to, say this real quick, let it out. He is the son of the legendary, Pastor Guillermo. And he is isa sa mga parang lodi na mga preachers ko back then. And so every time I see you, I'm so happy. It's like my father passed away too, and every time I come across a sibling, I'm like, I feel so good inside to be with him. And I feel so good around you always. I'm like, Pastor Clem is still here. His son is here. So his father was our preacher. I think he's a ninong din in our wedding.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah.
And praise God for the life of your father.
Yeah.
But you are now continuing the legacy.
Yes.
You guys also have one of my favorite Christian bookstores in the Philippines. And I remember also going there upstairs office. I guess that's your office now, right?
Yeah.
And that's where me and Reese met with your father. We didn't go through the sessions, but that's where we made our proposal. Can you be our ninong? And, and he gladly said yes. And I won't forget his sermon sa wedding namin kasi he used basketball analogy. Bakit kaya? With marriage.
Okay.
So I loved it. It was awesome. Anyways, you are a counselor.
Yes.
And it must be tough.
Yeah. Oo.
Kasi ikaw ang bagsakan ng mga problema ng tao.
True. In a nutshell, that's what I do, no? Even outside the spectrum of the church, our function, of course, is marriage and family, the dynamics of marriage, and any interactional relationships, actually. So, in a nutshell, that's what we do, no? Yung pastoral counseling ministry ng Back to the Bible Philippines. Ang layunin natin, tugunan yung mga sugat at kahit pa paano, lagyan ng mga panibagong behavior so that the dynamics will be at least better.
Siya ang guru ng mga bubu. That's what you do. And but it's amazing. It's amazing work. Not anyone can do it. You are licensed. You are trained to do it. But does it ever take a toll? Like, do you ever I don't want to hear it. I have problems of my own. I mean, as a pastor, I get that, And how does it feel?
Of course. What Pastor Jordan, and sa mga tigapanood natin, empathy is expensive, no? Yung makikipag-empatya ka sa tao, nadadamahin mo yung kanyang galit, yung kanyang kalungkutan. Definitely, as you go and leave your own feelings to feel the other person, it will take a toll on you, whether you like it or not. So that is why it's also as important as knowing how to help. It's also important for us to manage yung regulation of our emotions, no? Yung pag-regulate ng emotions natin. Kaya, ang tawag namin dito sa opisina ay pagpapagpag, no? After every session, we have to be able to healthily disengage sa sessions, no? Para pansamantalang ma-regulate din namin yung emotions namin. Makabalik kami, kumbaga, doon sa aming tunay na nararamdaman.
And this month, as we first aired this episode, is actually Pastor's Month.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
and what would you advise? I think there's a lot of pastors
Yes.
na hindi napapractice or nakakaligtaan ng pagpag.
Oo, ang pag-regulate.
So how does Pastor can do it.
Oo.
Like, paano mo pinapagpag? And I know, but I want you to tell them
Okay.
some of the things you do.
Alright. So, unahin ko na doon sa what I think you know, no? Isa sa mga bagay na ginagawa ko ay yung what's most therapeutic for me is to observe and appreciate nature. So, how I do that ay nagmomotor ako, no? So, I travel. Ang pinakamabilis para sa akin, I live in New Manila. Ang pinakamabilis na nature trip sa akin ay sa Marilake, no? So, I do that. Also, yung walking, no? Mahalaga sa akin yan, yung paglalakad. And being with family. And siguro, Pastor Jordan, I want to address all pastors here no, na nakikinig. Ang nakakalungkot, marami sa mga pastors who go to the office for counseling na dysregulate na sila because of having a lot of things on their plate. Siguro ang magandang maunawaan din ng mga pastors ay doing nothing is not sin, no? Kasi maraming mga pastors na nandoon sa strength polarity ay nagigilty kapag walang ginagawa o kaya pag nanonood ng TV, they feel guilty, no? Siguro magandang maunawaan din ng mga pastors that resting is also part of the ministry. No, yung pagpapahinga natin so we can do more after that is considered as a ministry as well. No? Yung pagpapahinga natin para may magawa tayo. Well, for me, I regulate by doing nature and walking. And of course, ako, nakikinig ako sa mga music eh. Very relaxing sa akin yung pakikinig ng mga worship songs, particularly mga hymnals. Yan, yung nakakatulong sa akin, ma-regulate yung emotions ko muli.
All right. Well, there you have it. I mean, I hope some of you are already feeling counseled
Yeah, I
by
hope so
Pastor
too.
Ken here. I call it load management.
Yeah, that's also a good term.
Kasi natuto ako kay Lebron. Kasi he's already 40, I think.
Oo.
Right? Is he? Mga tanda na si Lebron.
Yeah,
Pero
yeah.
what's the secret of his longevity sa basketball? I mean, it's not an easy sport. And maraming nagagalit kay LeBron kapag umuupo siya ng games. Di ba?
Okay.
Kasi you're paying to watch them and
Yeah.
analysts are like, come on, people are paying. And you know, what people fail to understand is this guy has been doing this for so long. If he says he needs the rest, even if wala siyang injury,
Yeah.
let him take it. For me, I mean,
yeah.
kasi yung ibang players, talagang short-lived lang yung career nila.
Correct.
Because I think yung load management ay hindi maganda. And especially grueling on season. Kaya nga, they're trying to talk to the commissioner if pwedeng bawasan yung games. From 82 games, bawasan. Kasi nga, pagdating ng championship, doon pa nai-injure.
Oo, correct.
Last
Ubus
championship,
na.
ganun. So mga pastor, mapapastor ka man or asawa, make sure yung load management.
Correct.
I have a pastor friend. Well, I have a lot of pastor friends. But I feel like isa sa mga naging advocacy ko lately is to get them to play basketball, bike, because
Right.
I've seen so many unhealthy
Correct.
pastors.
Sad.
Not even overweight, payat. And I feel like anytime their bodies can give. So I tell them, hey, let's play ball. And they always tell me, busy. I'm like,
correct.
it's a Monday, it's your day off.
Correct,
And like,
correct.
kasi may bisita. And so I always tell them, you got to not feel bad if you play ball and treat it like, when you get my age, our age, you cannot treat physical sports like it's just leisure.
Correct.
Na para kang nafe-feel bad for not attending a meeting
Correct.
or doing something that we call work. So I always tell them, you just gotta balance it out. Ako pag may bisita, I'll spend a little time with the bisita and then I'll leave it to the wife or I'll say, sorry, I got a schedule.
Correct.
And I think that's the secret to longevity.
Correct.
Load management.
Correct. And Pastor Jordan, if I may add, no, nakakatuwa yung inyong naibahagi tungkol kay LeBron James. Siguro, ako what I always tell pastors who come to the office telling me about their feeling burnout, no, ang madalas kong binabahagi sa kanila is to prioritize rest like you would your work. Kumbaga, kailangan isa-schedule din natin na may rest tayo talaga, kagaya na nabanggitin nyo, no? Nakakalungkot kasi maraming pastors, they feel bad for doing nothing or for resting, no? And siguro magandang dahan-dahan natin baguhin ito upang longevity, no? Para mas maging matagal tayo sa ministry at maging kapakinabangan tayo para sa ministry.
Yeah. Ako, I've been in the youth ministry for so long, almost 20 years. And I felt like it was a secret to my youth. Like people would tell me, "Oh, you don't look like your age right now."
Yeah,
I was like, "Yeah, because I hang out with the youth, people who are half my age." Pero the past 3 years, senior pastor na ako at marami na akong seniors na nakakasama. So I always say this: ano ba yung difference when I came from the youth ministry into adult ministry or lahat? And I say, you know what? I can say na nabawasan yung pagiging physically exhausted.
Okay.
Pero, lumipat.
Lumipat sa...
yung exhaustions, mental, emotional,
yeah.
parang physically, okay, hindi na ako kasing active ng when I was in the youth ministry. Pero now, it's like, whoa, where is this all coming from? Why can't I sleep? Or it's messing with me. So, for me, definitely basketball, biking, maybe if I had a motorcycle, I would go biking or cycling, or what do you call it? Motorcycling with my friend here, Pastor Ken. And then also, of course, spending time with the family is very important for me.
That's true.
Ang like kong sinasabi, I would rather get accused of spending too much time with the family and neglecting ministry.
That's right.
Versus spending too much time in the ministry and neglecting the family.
True.
What can you say about that?
Yeah, definitely, no. Nakakalungkot kasi way back in the 80s, no, from my observation of pastors who are pastoring churches in the 80s, no. May guilt kapag ka nagsispend ng most time ang isang pastor sa family. And sad to say, yung mga bata na raised in the 80s, they have this wrong notion of ministry kasi may competition, no? And to me, being raised in the 80s as well, no, nakita ko na ito yung mga bagay na kinakailangan at pwede nating baguhin, ano, sa ating thinking, way of thinking. Maraming Pastor Jordan and I'm sure maraming mga pastors can relate to this, no. Aanhin natin yung respect ng ating mga members kapag sa bahay natin malayo na, no, yung gap, no, masakit na yung damdamin ng mga wives natin at ng mga kids natin. So ako, I would rather, kagaya nung sinabi niyo, it's well put, no, na you would rather be judged, no, or you would rather be looked at na serving most of your time with the family than in the church, pero yung family mo galit naman sa'yo. Siguro sa akin magandang tingnan natin ito as investment, no?
Yeah.
Kapag ka ang family natin ay ginugugulan natin ng panahon at tayo mismo ang nagdi-disciple sa families natin, di po ba? Yung bukod sa longevity ay yung reach o yung maaabot ng ating ministry ay mas marami, di po ba?
Kasi katuwang natin sila. So wag mo silang iwan, isama nyo. Kasi I know, I mean, without name dropping in international scene, like some famous preachers, teachers, and yung anak nila nagiging parang demonyo.
Correct.
Like kinokontra yung lahat ng sinasabi nila. There's this influencer, TikToker with 1 million followers. And magugulat ka lang, PK pala to, pastor's preacher's kid. And what happened? I'm like, maybe he did everything right. May ganun talaga. Pero on the other hand, you wonder, how was this kid raised? Kasi sinashare din niya yun. Paano siya pinalaki. By the way, Pastor Ken is a PK.
Yeah.
I'm a PN. Pastor's nephew.
Okay.
Pero your father was a pastor and was his father a pastor? Hindi naman.
No.
And it's also rare for a pastor, a pastor's kid to become a pastor.
Yes.
Because of the resentment that can develop growing up.
Correct.
Seeing na laging walang pera o walang ganon.
Walang time.
So like you want to parang break that that cycle or curse for some PKs.
Correct.
But congratulations, it looks like this is something that was enforced upon you.
Yes.
This is something you gladly accepted.
Yes.
And so how did you know you're going to be into the family counseling and pastor after being under a family that's of that?
Well, the long and short of it, Pastor Jordan, ay naligaw tayo early years in my married life. And dahil nga pastor's kid, naging competition sa akin yung anything that's church-related because the attention, the nurturing that I was longing for from my father, ay nagiging kahati ko yung church. So medyo sumama yung loob ko dyan. And then I had a story of a rebellious life. And then, ang nangyari, when I was seeking for help, ang nakatulong sa akin ay isang counselor din, no? So doon ko naunawaan yung kahalagahan ng pagre-reframe ng thoughts natin, no? at pag-own up, no? In the counseling ministry, naunawaan ko yung kahalagahan ng pag-aangkin natin ng ating mga problema, pag-uunawa natin, pagko-conceptualize natin ng tunay na problema, no? Imbis na dun sa victim mentality na palagi na lang ako nasasaktan, ito na lang ba yung palagi kong, will I always dwell on this? In the counseling, naunawaan ko yung concept, no? Yung case conceptualization, naunawaan ko yung totoong problema. And then when I started to undergo counseling, nagkaroon ng treatment by the grace of God, doon ko naunawaan na marami palang mga taong pwedeng matulungan ng counseling. So dahan-dahan, slowly, no? Hindi naman siya nangyari in one sitting, pero when I was helped, I had the desire to pay it forward.
In fairness, though, walang trace of any of that.
Praise God.
Like when you say your testimony, like what happened to you, like late
Correct,
bloomer
correct.
ka na. No?
Yeah, late bloomer.
Or ano ba opposite ng bloomer? Minsan kasi meron akong mga churchmates or nakita na kung kailan tumanda pa sila, doon pa
Tsaka
sila nagloko.
Oo,
Parang ganun.
nakakalungkot. Oo.
But, like I said, God cleans us up and turns us around. And kanina, when I was saying that you neglect family and yung ministry, dun ka lagi. Parang hindi naman magkalaban kasi yan.
Correct.
Your family is ministry. I call it, not ministry, ministry.
Oh, ganda na.
Main ministry.
Main ministry, right.
Kasi ano mo yung approval ng lahat ng tao sa labas ng bahay mo.
Correct.
Kasi ito yung lagi kong sasabihin sa mga church members.
Oo.
Halimbawa, gusto nyo i-evaluate yung pastor nyo.
Correct.
Don't evaluate them based sa mga sinasabi ng other members or mga marites.
Correct.
Tanungin nyo yung asawa, kamusta
Correct.
kamusta si pastor sa bahay?
Correct.
Sama nyo sa evaluation. Does his kids love him? Or is there respect? Is
Correct.
there love in their home? Because for me, that's how I want to be evaluated. Like, forget whatever you hear or how you like my
Yeah.
sermon.
Correct.
Parang, can someone go to my home and, for me, if bagsak ako doon, then di mo na ako dito sa labas.
Correct.
Kasi it starts there.
Correct.
And how many people do you know na yung scenario is yung family na
Correct.
neglect.
Oo.
Tapos yung ministry hindi.
Oo.
Versus yung ministry ang neglect. Tapos
Correct,
yung
correct.
family,
Oo.
very rarely.
Correct.
I have yet to meet any pastor actually.
Correct.
Who, pastor, tatanggalin ka na namin kasi palagi ka na lang kasama ng family mo. Parang, meron bang ganun?
Correct. Oo,
Siguro pwede kung araw-araw si pastor sa Disneyland.
Oo, correct.
Pero hindi talaga, walang ganun kasi nga,
Correct.
kadalasan, it's the other way around.
Correct.
And that's what we need to fix. Now, you counsel young people then. We have a lot of young
course,
listeners. Ano po ang mga karamihan na sumbong nila? Like, do you get a lot of PKs too? Or, what are something that is, you think, a common thing nowadays?
Well, to be honest, ang pinaka iniinda ng mga kabataan ay yung part ng nurturing, no? When it comes to nurturing, ang kadalasang sugat dito ay yung emotional neglect, no? Kasi I'm sure there's a lot of valid reasons. Siguro generational gap, hindi ko na nauunawaan. But in my observation for in my counseling ministry, naunawaan ko na yung mga kabataan ay hindi napapakinggan, no? Kumbaga, it's most of the time it's being compared to their generation, their era, no? Kami nung bata kami, wala naman yung mga depression na yan eh. So, once the child or the youth or the young person feels neglect, no? Naghahanap siya ng ibang mga group or social group that would accept the person, no? At rampant ito sa mga kabataan, even in the pastoral, even yung mga pastor's kid, no? Nagpupunta sa office kasi hindi lumalalim ang relationship ng parental relationship at kids because palaging parang preaching in the house, no? So, siguro maganda, my message to all of the parents na pwedeng makinig sa atin is that take time to listen to your kids, no? Take time to listen to their feelings, no? Ito kasi yung mahalaga eh. Kasi makakapag-connect tayo sa feelings kasi universal ito. Yung sadness, maaring hindi ko naunawaan cognitively, pero you would know how it feels to be sad. So, upuan natin yung mga feelings. So, neglect yung common cause, Pastor.
They have a term for it. It's called gaslighting or not validating yung kanilang feelings.
Correct.
And then kasi we tend to, yung mga batang 80s, to just hindi, wala yan. Ano lang yan.
Tough it up
But,
lang.
yeah, just, parang gano'n. Pero the other thing also is this generation, may term din ako narinig from them is
Okay.
affirmation thirst.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
maybe kinukulang sa parents minsan yung encouragement kasi puro
Correct,
nilang sermon or pagalit.
Correct, correct.
So, ibabalance din natin.
Oo.
Ako as a pastor nowadays, even if I've been in the youth ministry for decades,
Oo.
I find myself still a student of
Okay.
learning the young
That's true.
people because every young people is different and every generation is different of
True.
young people. So I find myself saying, okay, ito pala ang tamang approach. So I apologize if ever I've done some approaches, some young people
True.
today that were effective only 10 years ago. Pero nowadays, iba na pala yung method. So I learned from that. And now, what would you say to the young people naman? Para sa kanila na gusto lumapit sa iyo and yung nga parang yung same, how would you yung nga yung karamihan sa kanila, anong sinasabi mo sa kanila?
Well, what I always tell yung mga young people who's willing to listen actually, no? And I appreciate those young people who would come to the office and just be vulnerable, no? I always ask them, what could be the reason why you have shared with me or you have been vulnerable with me today? And then usually, if not all, ang sasabihin nila, Pastor Ken, kasi I felt safe with you. Kaya po ako naging vulnerable. Siguro, ang message ko sa mga young people na nagkakaroon na conflict with their family relationships is this, no? Come from a place of care, no? Unawain natin yung mga patterns of love. Maybe hindi kayo naunawaan. And that's okay, no? Ito yung madalas nagiging problema in relationships, no? Hindi po porket magkaiba ay kasalanan, no? So we can, siguro maganda, if I'm talking to the young people, come from a place of care and trace the patterns. No? May mga sacrifices sa mga parents mo sa'yo, maaring hindi lang nila nauunawaan. So, dito tayo papasok sa ating openness and honesty sa ating mga magulang. Kailangan din natin dito yung courage, no? Na, Mom, this is how I feel. No? Usually, I would train or I would teach mga young people to start with their feelings. Pa, I feel sad. Pa, I'm mad. Kasi ang dalas na nangyayari in the absence of communication, nagkakaroon na ng imagination ng bawat isa, no, sa family. So, be courageous enough to talk about how you feel.
Yeah, I think I just met someone like that na parang nagulat na lang siya nung dinala niya sa family counseling session na galit na pala yung anak niya. Hindi niya parang doon lang na-realize and praise God, nagbago naman siya ng approach. And so, I just want to ask a quick question. Like, so madalas kang humarap sa mga kaaway or may conflict. Anything crazy happen ever in the office or without name dropping, of course, did you ever have to like, okay, step outside muna yung isa or ano, wala namang shouting matches or
yung shouting matches, to be honest, no, through the years, no, we have been in the counseling ministry since 2015, no. Ang natutunan ko, sa simula pa lang, you have to lay some ground rules.
Set the tone.
Set the tone, no. In this counseling, we appreciate all emotions, we accept all emotions, but we have to behave properly. So there's no shouting, there's no cursing, there's no physical hurting. If ever you can't take it anymore, you can just raise your hand and then ask if you want to leave. So sa simula pa lang ganyan na. No?
wow.
And in my observation, nung mga wala pa kaming ground rules, talagang nangyayari yung sigawan. Marami, sumisigaw,
may
nagmumura.
listahan na ito ang ginawa mo.
Nagsisingilan, And nawawala ng objective. So, nagsiset na kami on the onset, pag upo pa lang, may ground rules na kaagad.
If you remind me of referees in the basketball game.
That's true.
So may
like
pagka-referee din ng counselor.
Yeah, that's what
Kasi
we
they
do.
set the tone of the game. Pag nakita nilang masyadong halimbawa,
Aggressive,
nagsunto ka ng Team
player.
Philippines and then Australia noon. So maraming analysts ang nagsasabi, you should have stepped in already
Right.
when you saw that there was a lot of physical. And even in the beginning of games, there's always the referee saying, okay, I'm going to allow counting physical and ganito.
Right,
But the moment I see it, you're going to get called or something like that.
Yeah.
So ganon. I mean, even in our basketball outreach, I remember not too long ago, nakita ko talagang siniko Talagang, time out muna.
Correct.
Relax muna tayo, wala tayong ganyan, reminder lang, pwede kayong makick or ban.
Correct.
This is only good, walang pustahan dito, kaya
Correct.
huwag kayong magpatayan.
Correct.
Now, punta naman natin yung speaking of patayan, hindi. Mga mag-asawa. Okay, kasi we're talking about parents and then the kids. Now, ano naman ang sumbong ng mga... Okay, unahin natin yung mga misis. Ladies first.
Well, ang madalas na siguro kung in my understanding o sa experience ko, ang madalas na iniinda ng mga wives ay of course time, no, yung quality time, no. And then the next after that ay yung physical touch, no. Kasi umuwi yung mga husbands ng pagod, and then they treat their wives as they would a worker or a servant, no? So kaya parang lumalamig yung pakiramdam ng mga wives. And in some cases, no, kasama na din dito yung provision, no? Yung kasi in the context of family, when one person is under functioning, no, someone will overfunction. So ano nagiging problema? Kapag ang husbands ay under-functioning, hindi nakapagpo-provide, the wives or family members would over-function, no? At kapag nagkakaroon na ng imbalance, no, ang nangyayari, nagkakaroon na ng gap yung mga wives sa husbands, no? Siguro yung, ang madalas iniinda, realistically, ay yung mga irresponsible husbands, no? Yung hindi nagsaserve, yung hindi nagmamahal, yung hindi nagpo-provide, ito yung madalas nagiging problema natin. And biblically, no, may mandate din ang mga husbands eh. Kapag ka hindi na natutugunan ito, yung mga wives, most of the time, go to the office. No? And they feel that there's a gap, there's a problem already.
Punta naman natin yung sinusumbong nila.
Oo,
ano naman ang
husbands.
sinusumbong ng mga sinusumbong nila?
Oo. Ito, Pastor Jordan, ano, and I'm sure most husbands can relate to this, no? Yung affirmation, no? Affirmation and appreciation, ano?
Respect.
Kapag respeto yung mga husbands, kapag ka hindi sila na-affirm o na-appreciate, they feel lost, no? Parang, is this who I am? No? Ito na ba ako? No? Ito na ba? Parang hindi naman ako na-appreciate. Sa kabaliktaran, ano, yung mga husbands naman na ina-appreciate, you would know this and most people would know this. No? Kapag na-affirm tayo, it seems that I can do more. I can give more. For providing for my family, tas na-appreciate ako ng anak ko, yayakapin ako kapag may binigay ako, I think I would want to give more. Di po ba? So siguro yun yung madalas iniinda ng mga husbands. And then, yung mga disrespectful wives, no? Ito yung madalas iniinda, yung mga nag-provide na, tapos mamaliitin, no? Ito na lang ba yun, no? Tapos parang ang highlight ng mga wives or unappreciative wives ay yung mga problema compared to what the husbands can already give. Masakit yun para sa mga husbands. Siguro para sa mga wives, my message to you is this, no? If you would be grateful to your husbands, no, they can give more, no?
Ayun. So just, if there's something the missus could tell the mister to help affirm or validate them, what would it be like? Thank you for your work?
Thank you.
Ganun, simple.
Yung simple appreciation lang, no? Pero ang mahalaga dito yung consistency din, Pastor Jordan, ano? Hindi naman kailangan yung grand palagi na binilhan ka ng kotse, ng Tesla. Hindi naman ganun, ano? Pero yung mga every little thing, no, na mabubuti, papansinin natin, pupunahin natin. Honey, salamat kasi gumigising ka na maaga para pumasok, para pag-uwi, makakapagbili tayo ng pagkain para may kakainin tayo. I appreciate that. Yung mga simple things like this matters a lot.
And then the husbands naman, we could also affirm the wife.
Of course.
Same way. Sabihin din natin sila na they're still beautiful.
Yeah,
inside out. And then of course, kasi halimbawa, mga may anak na, lalong-lalo na.
Correct.
They feel like losyang na sila, napababayaan na sila. So, every now and then, ipamper natin sila, let them have pedicure, manicure,
Correct.
Salon.
Correct.
If they say something bad about themselves, of course, i-counter mo yun.
Correct.
That's not true. So, what I'm thinking right now is, what can husband and wife tell each other to help that relationship grow more. And in the same way, anong pwedeng sabihin ng parents
Sa kids.
sa kids and the kids to the parents?
That's good, no? Siguro start muna ako sa husband and wives, no? And then kids, no? Ang husbands, they would want to hear how they're doing, no? They would love to hear that they're doing well para sa kanilang family, no? Nabuboost yung kanilang self-respect kapag yung family members nila, particularly yung wives nila, ay ina-appreciate sila. So, siguro pwedeng sabihin ng mga wives, honey, I appreciate all the sacrifices that you're doing for the family. Para naman sa mga wives, yung mga wives, Pastor Jordan, in my experience, no, they would want to be, desired, no? Yung kumbaga crush pa din sila, yung maramdaman na hinahabol pa rin sila, yung kumbaga parang sweet pa din yung mga husbands. Siguro ang magandang mga husbands, magandang mapakinggan ng mga wives niyo that they are still beautiful. Kaya nabanggit niya Pastor Jordan, no, through the years, no, appreciate natin yung beauty pa din nila, no? And then appreciate din natin yung mga maliliit o malalaking bagay na ginagawa ng mga wives natin. Ako, yung wife ko, Pastor Jordan, yung kanyang love language, I touch, no? So, every time nasa mall kami, no? Hindi kami yung mga old married couples. In fact, 15 years na kami. Hindi kami yung matatanda na 4 stores apart, no? I would make sure that yun yung love language na if I can't speak it, I would make her feel it, no? Aakbayan ko siya, hawakan ko yung kamay niya. And I always tell her, kapag may mga pagkakataon, you know what? You're handling so well your physical body, no? Ang ganda mo pa din, ano? Thank you for taking care of yourself. Para naman sa mga parents.
So, okay lang maging PDA.
Oo. If you're married, syempre, dapat.
Well,
dapat.
that's the thing eh. The problem is, yung mga hindi married pa ang mas PDA.
Oo nga, na
So, yung mga
nakakalungkot.
married dyan, kayo naman mag-PDA kasi nga daw, hindi nila nakikita sa inyo yun. So,
Correct.
Yun tuloy, sila yung gumagawa.
Correct.
Pero meron akong theory, Pastor Ken, and this is why yung mga single, sinasabi ko rin sa kanila, yung pagiging PDA, may time para dyan.
Correct, true.
To be sweet, and then it's medyo kadiri lang, if you're doing that, especially in church or in front of other people.
Right.
And don't do it when you're by yourself, of course, kasi that will,
Trigger a
create a lot of
oo.
temptation and stuff. Kasi minsan ganun daw, may young people, PDA, hey, get a room. Hey, huwag ka pala.
Totoo.
But on the other hand, I observed that maybe lang naman, there are some married couples who are not as sweet anymore.
Oo nga.
Kasi, inubos na nila yung sweetness nung magjowa pa lang sila. Could
That's
it be
true.
like that?
That's true.
Magjowa sila, share sila ng straw.
Oo nga, oo.
Share silang pagkain, ng
Correct,
toothpaste,
correct,
toothbrush, hindi naman.
Correct.
Tapos yung mag-asawa na, get your own.
Oo.
Hindi,
Naubos na yung sweetness.
Oo, huwag niyo
Naubos
ubusin
na
yung sweetness. Save niyo yun.
Correct.
So that's...
In the proper time, no? Matagal pa kayo magsasama.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're single, you're in a relationship. So, save those little things for
Correct.
when you are married. Yung mga kabataan dyan, ito yung sinasabi ko na even yung mga outing, mga bakasyon, me and Rizzy, our first time together na kaming dalawa lang, it's in our honeymoon.
Oh, good.
Kaming dalawa lang talaga. And we were both in surprise or in awe of like, wow, tayo lang. Just us,
That's
we're
good to
really
know.
adults na.
That's good to
So,
know.
paano mo mararanasan yun kung...
Correct. Inubos mo na nung
Yeah.
younger years ninyo.
Okay, let's rewind back again to the kids na. No?
So the kids, no? Siguro, let's start first with parents to kids, no? Siguro ang maganda, be the safe space of your kids, no? Ibig sabihin nito, siguro may mga time, pag uwi natin, usually kasi ang nakakalungkot sa mga parental relationships or parental roles, pag uwi, galit, no? O criticism. Ano yung hahanapin? Yung homework mo, nagawa mo na ba? Etc. Ang palagi kong sinasabi sa mga parents is that when you go home first. Umuwi ka muna. Maging magulang ka muna. Maging loving parent ka muna. And this is what you can say to your children kung kayo ay parents na nakikinig, no? No, anak, I want you to know na when tatay's home, you can talk to me about anything, no? Provide a safe space. And then don't be critical immediately, no? Kapag may kinuwento yung anak ninyo at immediately naging critical tayo, chances are, the next time na may experience siya, hindi niya nababahagi ka agad, no? Papakiramdaman ka muna niya. In our family and in the family sa mga nakakounsela natin, pinanghihintulutan natin yung when you go home, come home first. Uwi ka muna. Siguro 1 hour or 2 hours, i-affirm mo muna, no? Make sure, no? Siguro yun na lang, no? Make sure that you're the safe space of your kids, no? How do you do that? O anak, how do you feel about things? O kamusta yung araw mo? Yung kakamustahin lang natin, malaking bagay yan sa mga kids, no? How's your day? And then no judgment, no criticism, yet. Kapag may correction naman, especially kapag sin, of course, you can do that, no? Now, going to the kids, to their parents naman, Pastor Jordan, gagaya na tanong ninyo sa akin, siguro ang maganda sa mga kids to have a longevity of a good relationship, maganda rin na i-appreciate natin yung mga parents natin. Hindi po porket kaya nilang bilhin at kaya nilang ibigay means na hindi na natin i-appreciate. You have to understand sa mga children na nakikinig ngayon, whatever they give you, they have to sacrifice something for it. Halimbawa, kung bibili sila ng sapatos sa inyo, meron silang hindi binili para sa kanila. So siguro sa ganitong pamamaraan, pwede natin i-appreciate yung mga parents natin, sa mga bagay na ginagawa nila sa atin. Mahalagang bagay yung na-appreciate ng mga kids. Kasi magiging behavior na rin nila in the real world. So kids, appreciate and honor your parents. Yan yung maganda na ipasagawa natin sa pamilya.
And if I may add something for this generation as someone who's grown older, wag nating hayaan na mapalitan yung utang na loob
Oo.
ng sama ng loob.
Correct. That's very true.
Because nowadays, cancel culture is very rampant. Pati magulang, kinakancel.
Oo
Nagka-cancel lang tayo and we don't even talk.
Correct.
So we need to talk. I hope that listeners and viewers of this are learning a lot. I mean, now all of you guys are licensed family counselors. This is like a crash course.
Yeah.
But you can catch Pastor Ken.
Yes.
He's also in the same radio station I'm at.
Yeah.
How often are you at? Yes.
Every Thursday sa
Every
FEBC.
Thursday.
Every Thursday night, 9:30 to 11 p.m. Heartline.
And siyempre tayo naman Sundays. So hindi talaga tayo nakikita.
Oo, hindi tayo nakikita.
So a lot of people kasi when they say DCS, they're like, "Oh, do you know this person?"
Oo,
Like,
totoo.
actually, so, I can't explain.
But marami
we're friends.
programa.
We still see each other. We hang out. So you guys want to learn more, you could catch him on Thursdays. Another thing he does a lot is online Zoom webinars and stuff like that. So when you're not catching him live speaking, you could also, PM lang. Actually, me and my wife, Reese, we've been attending, I think, two Fridays na.
Yeah.
It's been 2 sessions. It's been interesting.
Right.
And she enjoys it. I enjoy it too. I'm meeting other couples. And it's only like an hour.
Yeah. 1
It's not
hour.
too much.
Right.
But we feel afterwards, wala lang, parang supplement, vitamins sa aming
spa.
marriage.
Right.
We don't attend it because we're having marital problems.
Right.
And I think that's the problem with some married people.
Yeah.
They wait for the problems to
Correct.
come. And then they try to get counseling. Parang
Right.
for us,
Nakakalungkot.
hindi tayo
Supplement
mag-aaway.
na.
Mag-vitamins tayo,
Correct.
exercise training. And that's what we get from listening to Pastor Ken here and then listening to other couples.
Correct.
So you don't stop learning, don't stop
That's right.
believing, don't
That's
stop,
right.
fighting for your marriage.
That's
Palakasin talaga natin yan kasi talagang nakadepende yung mga kids, yung future.
Yes,
So Pastor Ken, we have reached the end.
Oh, sadly.
Yes, ang bilis ng time.
Right.
You have to get somewhere, I have to get somewhere, but it's good to have you here.
Yeah.
Would you like to invite some people to your socials or if you have any upcoming events?
Sige, siguro thank you very much Pastor Jordan for having me here. It's such an honor, no. Of course when I'm with you I feel happy, no. Talagang I feel blessed when I'm with you. For Pastor Ken, for me, no, siguro pa pwede niyo sundan yung Back to the Bible Philippines Facebook fan page. Dito, napakarami na namin mga programs and activities na ginagawa. And just the same, kung nais po ninyo at kailangan ninyo ng counseling, whether you're in the Christian ministry, you're pastoring a church, no, you're safe there, no, sa Back to the Bible Philippines. I-type lang ninyo sa inyong Facebook fan page, Back to the Bible Philippines, and then you can follow us, no.
And visit that store. I mean, my wife loves going there, and me too, because konti na lang, hindi masyadong marami ang Christian bookstore sa Philippines. And when there is, it's usually not that big. So it's one of the places na talagang maraming resource.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, I usually give a gift, like a book or something to my guests. Pero I can't give you a book, Pastor Ken, because I'll just go to your store and buy it. And it'd be like, hey, I bought something in the store. And so that's my gift to you. But thank you. I mean, I hope that this time has been also good for you.
Yes.
And you want to give shout-outs, of course, to the wife, the kids.
Good day sa aking wife, si Dr. Benny Guillermo. Si Dr. Benny po ay a resident psychologist ng Back to the Bible. Ganun din sa aking daughter na si Andy. Yan, good day sa inyong lahat.
Maybe I could guess your wife. Pwede mo siya samahan.
Oo naman.
Double date tayo ni
Yeah.
She recommended.
Okay.
She was like, you should guest him. Lalong-lalo na last month, it was suicide prevention month.
Yeah,
and so I really wanted to talk to someone who knows these things and have counseled people like that. But it's been a long time coming, my friend, for this episode. I still remember, mga 5 years ago pa yun. And how long have we known each other? Basta, we've known each other for a while. And even though we don't see each other like almost every day or what,
Right.
You just know there's some people ganun.
Totoo.
You're just close with, even though you're not around each other
Correct.
a lot. But there's some people then that you're around a lot, that may distance.
Yeah.
Which do you prefer? Basta may closeness dapat
Correct.
sa lahat.
Connection. Yeah.
And you said something back then, you said mag-collab tayo, and here it is.
Yeah.
Hindi ko makita yung post.
Right.
Pag nakita ko yun, post ko yan.
Yeah.
But finally it happened,
Yeah.
and we should do it again.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Well, there you go. If you are young people, if you are in need of counseling, there is always help because Pastor Ken, people like this are out there. So get some help if you need it. And even pastors need help and counseling then. So consider people like Pastor Ken, our guest here. And thank you so much again for guesting. Siguro ang i-gift ko na lang sa iyo ay motor oil.
Yon.
Kasi may motorcycle kayo. So, coming yun. Alright? So, Papa Star, alam mo na. Yung mga friends namin, collab kami dito sa
that's
mga
nice.
giftings kasi wala naman tayong pera rito.
Right.
Pero kayo, mag-Gcash kayo kay Pastor Ken. Pwede rin naman. Thank you so much again, Pastor Ken, and everybody who is watching or viewing this. And don't forget, only dead fish swim with the current. Ako po si Jordan. And like Pastor Ken, let's go.
Against the flow.
Kontra mi sa sug, kutok yang agos. Laban ako sa agos. I go against the flow.